everyone. A little bit hectic this morning, but then again, it is Tuesday morning and the kids are off school. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
See you all soon. God bless. Peace out. Maybe we go live with somebody. Let's have a look.
No.
Who shall we go live with? Try this guy. Oh, hello there. What's happening, Bush?
I know that face there.
Why is it not working? Oh, it's gone off. He must have terrible signal. What's up with you? Got no Wi-Fi? What's going on? Where's your Wi-Fi at? Are you all right? Cougar.
Yeah, I'm all good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Have you been
I
training?
can hear you.
You've been doing a bit of training,
No,
much?
I've been watching your videos every morning
Why watching them? Why not joining in?
because I don't want to.
Come on, Cougar, mate. If I said that about your interviews, I wouldn't do any more interviews then, would I?
Yeah, but I watch your fights. It's different. When you're in the ring, I watch you fight. It's different.
What do you think of my collection?
Every belt.
One magazine, one ring magazine, two ring magazine belts. Get up there, my boy. I've got that shit one there as well. I hide it. And I've got me green. And I've got my brand new green belt here. Look, Coog.
That's got to get its own box shirt.
There's the one. There's the one.
Put that back up, Paris. So there we are. How are you finding lockdown, Cougar?
Horrendous.
Yeah, are you struggling a little bit?
Like everyone else. Just can't interview anyone.
No. Well, I can interview you now.
When are we going to get an interview with you?
Well, I'm going to interview you right now for your little few quick fire questions.
Go on, then.
What do you think about the boxing behind closed doors?
We ain't really got a choice, have we? I think we'll take it. It's not ideal for anyone, but if that's the only thing on offer, then we'll take it.
How would you do high-profile fights without a live gate?
Well, it's not ideal, but what are you going to do if this carries on and on and on? We're just not going to fight.
I don't think it'd be possible for me to fight behind closed doors because the gates are too big. And when I fight, it's like a big thing. It's an ordeal for everyone to get involved in, have a few beers around the mate's house. So I don't think I can box during lockdown because what about all the people who's followed me all my career? Then they can't go around the mates for a few beers or can't travel to America. I've just found out that I can travel back to America. Trump's lifted the athlete ban, but people can't travel.
So what if there's no live gate for the whole year? What are you going to do then?
Well, we find a place where we can have a live game. Never mind Dana White's MMA island. You got the Gypsy Kings Island, and I'm on the hunt for one.
So, as far as you're concerned, you'll fight once this year. It will be the Wilder fight, and that's it.
Yeah, that'll be it. I'll fight this year. As soon as things get back alive again, as soon as the world starts again, I'll be fighting again this year. And it will be a live audience. I'm very, very hoping so.
And there's no chance of Wilder stepping aside from this fight at all, is there? Use a contract.
I wouldn't pay Wilder 10 grand to move him aside. I would rather, I swear to God, I'd rather go in there again and give him a good hiding again. Because he never just got a boxing lesson last time. He got a mullering, didn't he? He got absolutely mullered. So I'm not paying anybody to step aside. I'm knocking out all bums. All of them. So, what else can we? Well, another question. Next question. I hear a lot of talk about the fights going on in the Middle East and China and Macau and all these places. What's your opinion on boxing overseas territory like that in faraway places?
Yeah, I've got no problem going over there and watching fights over there. We've seen that it can be done with Saudi. We know the Middle East is going to be a big player next year as well. So if the fights are over there, it's just fights like you and AJ, people don't want to think of the idea of that fight happening over in the Middle East or wherever, but you're going to go where the money is. Is that fair to say?
Well, I think it's fair to say, yeah. I think it's fair to say. But, you know, all these countries, they're trying to be big players, aren't they? So they want the biggest fights possible in their country to have a statement like, you know what I mean, put it on show. And
do you have an issue with that?
I don't have an issue with that. I have a bag and I will travel. At the end of the day, I'm a traveller, and I travel all over the world and fight. Most of my big fights have not been in the UK anyway. I don't think I've had one big fight in England. Most I've been in Germany and America, haven't I? So wherever these fights take place, I'll be happy to travel to. Like I say, I have a bag and I will travel. I get on the road and travel about, and I love it.
Can you see that people will be outraged if you and Joshua doesn't happen in this country, though?
I don't know, you know. I don't rule out this country. Don't rule out the country, you know. We have a big following here in the United Kingdom. And, you know, we're two British fighters. It's definitely a possibility for it to happen here.
Do you genuinely think next year that you'll fight AJ twice?
Do you know what? What happens if I get knocked spark out by Wilder in the rematch?
All right. Well, I'm talking to you like I'm considering that if you beat Wilder in this third fight, you go on to fight Joshua twice next year. But is that realistic?
Yeah, if the lockdown finishes and the coronavirus gets a vaccine and the world goes back to normal, then I can see two fights with Joshua next year for sure, providing I get past Deontay Wilder this year, which is not a given, considering when you've been beat for the first time in your life, it either can do two things to you. It can make you break, as we've seen many, many times, a bubble burst, or it can give you that bit between your teeth where you want to get back and smash the guy's face in who beat you. So, you know, if I don't prepare like I did last time for Deontay Wilder, like a Trojan warrior with no Diet Cokes and no distractions and Big Shane there not doing any interviews or nothing, you know how strict it was, Coog.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Then I can't see myself winning again if I don't do that strict attitude and strict lifestyle.
What?
If I go into this camp taking it lightly, to thinking, oh, I've already knocked him out, it's an easy fight, yada, 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 Deontay Wilder would most probably knock me into next week. I've got to approach this fight as if I'm still the lineal champion, as if I didn't beat him the first time or the second time, and I'm still very, very, very hungry. And I've got to put on a fantastic display because at this level now, there's no room for error. One mistake could cost you big time.
What has Wilder got to do different to beat you in the ring?
I've already told Wilder, I've told Joshua, I've told Ortiz, Dylan White, I've told Klitschko, I've told everybody from my era. The only way to beat the Gypsy King is flatten him so he can't get back up.
What Brendan Ingalls said, now you to the floor.
What Brendan Ingalls said in about 2009. To beat this fucking kid, you got to nail a bastard to the canvas. And if you don't do that, he's going to get up and he's going to knock you the beeping out. And that's how you beat me. It's very, very simple. Land on the old chin and keep me down. Not so easy. I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never going to keep me down.
Tyson, let me ask you something. What about Dylan White? Does he feature in your plans realistically?
To be honest with you, yeah, I know Dylan White's a mandatory. He's a WBC mandatory. I inherited him from Deontay Wilder. But at the moment, I've got an immediate rematch with Wilder. And I know that Dylan's going on about, oh, fight me instead. But Wilder ain't going to give up $25 million. I see 30 million quid. I can't see that happening to let Dylan White go and have his money. So after that fight, yeah, then I think that there's a mandatory due. But don't quote me on this, but I'm almost 100% or 95% that all organisations will sanction a unification before mandatory.
So
don't quote me.
No, I know, but his mandated date of February 2021
Yes, but that was before the world fell off. The wheels fell off the world.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So that was before anything. Wilder's date for this rematch is October, contracted. Yeah, but I cannot see it happening in October. Does that mean he hasn't got a rematch clause anymore because it's written down on paper?
Yeah.
Rematch to happen by October. And if it doesn't happen by October, there ain't a rematch. But I can't see it happening. And I can see, because the world's ended and stopped still, frozen, people have had their mortgages frozen. People have had their business frozen. The government's paying people's rents and everything. So if that's standing still for the foreseeable future, I think all binding contracts will stay still as well. Because this timeout basically would let a lot of people out of contracts, wouldn't it, without even boxing?
Yeah.
So I don't think by law, by US law or whatever, don't quote me because I'm not a lawyer, but I don't think the lockdown, I think it stops with the lockdown because it'd be impossible to do by the certain date that's contracted, you know? So all parties must see sensible what's going on.
What do you think about Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield and these guys making comebacks?
I think, you know, everyone to their own thing. I think if that's what makes them tick and gives them a goal, then I'm all for it because I know what it's like to have no goals. I know what it's like to be sat on the sidelines watching everybody else. I know what it's like to be a has-been. I've been there. I know what it's like to suffer with mental health problems and then give myself a massive goal to achieve. I know what it's like to set about achieving it. So Mike Tyson's 55-year-old and Holyfield's nearly 60. If they want to do this, this is their choice. Let them do it. Because, you know, we could say, oh, no, don't let them do it, whatever. But at the end of the day, they're their own men. They know the risks. They know the responsibility. I say if they can pass medicals and they can pass all the brain scans and all that, healthy and fit to box, then let them box. George Foreman was 44-year-old when he won the world championship. How can we ever consider having an older world heavyweight champion if they're not given the opportunity to?
Yeah, but there's a difference between them fighting exhibition and them coming to compete in the modern day heavyweight scene. Wouldn't you agree with that?
Well, if they're fighting exhibition, it's between them, innit? And it's people their own age. Like Shannon Briggs is a bit younger than them, whoever else, you know. But I wouldn't like to see Mike fighting like one of the top heavyweights because obviously 55 years old versus 35 or 30. It's just not fair. But to see him fight someone his own age, like an old-timer as well, fantastic. I'd love to see it. If he's definitely serious about it, I'll buy a pay-per-view for sure. There's one buy right here.
It's mad. What you're doing your workouts every day. How are you motivated every day to do this? Because I did think that.
Well, every day
the other day.
I've got the energy. Every day I'm spreading positivity, and every day I'm getting up in the morning working out hardly because I know I've took the responsibility on now of getting up in the morning and doing me 9 a.m. workout every single morning until lockdown's over. So I'll continue to do that. I've got a lot of people relying on me getting up in the morning and doing it. What about if I just stop then? Don't do it tomorrow. And all the people are waiting for me to do the workout, and I don't do it. I let everybody down. And everyone starts feeling a bit down and depressed. And maybe they need this in the mornings to get through with the day. Maybe they're stuck in a high-rise apartment or wherever they are, without a garden, without anywhere to go, and they need this workout to get them through the day. So I will see it out to the end, and I will continue to help all the people who do need the help.
Does Paris do it willingly, or is she doing it because you're doing it?
Paris is doing it willingly, and let me tell you, Paris is as fit as a fiddle. I'm telling you, she is really fit. Like, she's getting super fit. She's doing these workouts quite comfortable. She even wants to now do runs and everything. Like, I've turned her from a normal person who didn't really train or do anything, a mummy and a housewife and all that, to somebody who's working out on a daily basis. I've changed her life around. She's changed it around because only her and only the individual can get up in the morning and want to eat right and want to train and want to work out and get fit. But she can see the benefits. We're 9 weeks in. She's firmed up. She's toned up. She's eating cleaner. She feels healthier. She's got abdominal muscles in her feet. And yeah, it's all going really well. How about you?
Well, I live on my own. So, like I said, I get up every morning, watch a workout. I do a few interviews on Zoom and etc. And that's my day. I don't go anywhere. I don't see anyone.
I've seen your barbecues.
What?
I've seen you on that barbecue, Coogan?
Yeah?
Good at it.
I've just bought a barbecue, £200 from Costco. And I'll cook on that.
Yeah, well, all good. I've been having a few barbecues and the weather's good. What else? Any more subjects?
Ooh. So, you know, like a fight like White Povetkin, Tice. That's going to happen behind closed doors, which is going to be on pay-per-view. What do you think about that show even going on pay-per-view behind closed doors?
Well, I think it's a good idea because Dylan White don't really sell out anyway, and neither does Povetkin. So I think it's good because, especially for me as a boxing fan, because I can sit at home now whenever that fight's happening. When is it?
It's going to be towards the middle of August.
Middle of August. If there's nothing on, no pay-per-views on, and no sporting events, it'll be a spectacle, won't it? Because we can all tune in and give us something to look forward to. So I'm all for it, really.
Have you been watching the UFC?
I watched one of them, the first one that they done, and it was quite weird, to be fair. It's just like a training match, isn't it? Like a sparring match, and I don't think I could get motivated to do it, Coog, honestly, because it'd just be like being in the gym, not a real event. And you can't have the heavyweight championship of the world with no live crowd. I just don't think it'd work. Not for the money, because money aside, right, I've already made a lot of money. You know I have, right? And all these boxers who's boxing, they've already made a lot of money. So, you know, I think it'd just be robbing the public of massive opportunity to go watch live gates. So I'm not all for it for me, but that's just my opinion on me personally. And if I get an offer to fight behind closed doors, I won't be doing it. That's it.
Just going back to the UFC, I mean, for the last couple of years, people have always toyed with the idea of, you know, you going in the UFC. We know you did that training with Darren Till about a year and a half ago, etc. How realistic, before you retire as an athlete, do you compete in something like the UFC or MMA to some capacity?
How realistic? I've had plenty of conversations with Dana White about potentially having a fight with one of the guys. But at the minute, you know, I don't need to fight UFC guys. I need to clear up my own stuff going on. And there's a few guys out there who need to be fought in this era. Like, I got to fight Wilder again. I got to fight Joshua. I got to fight Dylan White. I got to fight whoever. There's loads of them coming up. Joe Joyce, Daniel Dubois, Tony Yoka. There's loads of fresh meat to be beat up on. Loads of them. There's even fights out there with like Luis Ortiz or whoever. There's so many heavyweights today. El Fayed, he looks quite good. The Nigerian, big tall kid. The Filip Herkovic, he looks amazing too. Alexander Usyk. There's so many. Derek Chisora, he's in the mix. There's so many good heavyweights still out there to be fought, to give the fans plenty of good fights and for our own careers and destinies as well. So until then, I don't need someone like Francis Ngannou. I don't need Stipe Miocic, whatever his name is, Brock Lesnar. I don't need these guys to fight in a crossover match right now. You know, when I'm finished doing what I'm doing in my own career, then we can look at doing something like that. Just like I've got things for movies and TV series and all that sort of stuff. At the moment, I'm too busy with my own active boxing career to think about doing Tyson Fury life story or to become an actor or something like that. I can't do that right now. But the one thing I would be open to doing, and this is deadly serious, is I would be open to fight Drew McIntyre in WWE. I think it's amazing what he's done. First British WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Congratulations, Drew. And, you know, I think it'd be a massive showdown in the UK for sure. That would be one to watch. And I think everybody would be inspired and love to watch it.
Well, you're already experiencing the WWE, though, so that is a realistic possibility, isn't it?
Absolutely fantastic. You know, I had one of the best times in my life in the WWE over in Saudi Arabia. It was absolutely amazing. And before that, I was in Orlando training and all over America doing all the stuff. I really, really enjoyed it. It was hard work, a lot of traveling commitment, but the actual fun of it all was second to none. Having watched it all my life and then to be a part of it and see how it's all done, absolutely amazing experience.
Tyson, let me ask you, why have you gone from outlining a few potential opponents like the Wilder third fight, Joshua, Dylan White, to literally now saying you want to wipe out the whole division and anyone who's in that division? Why have you gone from that to that?
Because I'm coming to the end of my contract with Top Rank. I got 2 more fights left with those guys. And I want to renew it. I don't want to just walk away after 2 more fights. I'm 31 years old. Like Billy Keane said, the man who helped with this deal with ESPN and Top Rank, he said they better get out the dumper truck and reverse it back up to Tyson Fury's bank account, because that's what he's gonna need. I want to get that big major fight deal. You know, I want to break all records for a British fighter to go overseas and get the biggest signing record in history. And I know that with MTK Global and with Top Rank and Frank Warren and all the guys who help in between, I know that we can make that happen. I know that we can break history with the biggest fight contract deal in the history of boxing. Bigger than Floyd Mayweather, bigger than Canelo, bigger than Mike Tyson, bigger than anybody. Because I think it's very possible, and I always aim high with my achievements. And that's my next aim. After I've wiped out these 2 Dossers, Wilder and Joshua, then, you know, the world's my oyster. I want to see that big contract come from ESPN and whoever's out there battling to get the Gypsy King on their station.
Dad, we're going on the
Do you ever think to where, and I was talking about this the other day, 2 years ago, to where you are now is just, it's incredible. Literally where people thought that you were actually done in the game, to where you are now.
Yeah, not just people outside of boxing circles. People in my own family didn't think I was coming back. Nobody thought I was coming back. I didn't think I was coming back myself at one stage. But yeah, it's an incredible journey. It's a journey worthy of any Hollywood movie. It's a journey commendable by anybody. It's an epic journey to come back from the brink of defeat, suicidal thoughts, suicidal attempts, to be back at the top of the world in boxing, and to make it all so much more better. I told everybody what I was going to do from the beginning, so it makes it even sweeter. Well, you know, I hope I've inspired many people around the world to come back as well. And it's never over until it's over. Never count yourself out, because anything's achievable. And I've gone from being totally out to signing the biggest boxing deal of any British fighter in history of sport over in America, conquered America, and back on top of the pile in boxing. A standalone star in the heavyweight division. There is nobody else.
What would you say in that last sort of 3 years was your turnaround moment, if there is one?
There was a few turnaround moments. I speak about it in my autobiography, Behind the Mask. I was out one night, Halloween night, October 2017. And I had a moment of sanity there. And it was a moment where my senses come back to me. I thought, whatever are you doing here? Is this what you wanted in your life? I was out in a pub getting drunk, dressed as a 28-stone glow-in-the-dark skeleton. And I thought, I've got to come back. I've got to do something big with my life, and I've got to inspire others. And I knew I had the platform to go out there and put a show on for everybody who was suffering. And I really did show them that anything's possible with the greatest comeback in boxing history, barring none.
Tyson, I was watching an old video of you when we were in Monaco together, three and a bit years ago. And
it was summer 17, that.
Yeah, 2017. And I interviewed you when you was at one of your heaviest, I think. I think you said you was at 27 odd stone. And you were talking about the Joshua fight then. And I suppose people watching it back then are thinking to themselves, whatever's he going on about? Because kind of the situation you found yourself in there now. But you've always kind of said what you were going to do and come back into the division, and you have.
You know, a lot of people can say a lot of stuff, but the proof is in the evidence is in the pudding, and it's doing it. It's committing to something and achieving it. And when I came back in 2018, Even though I started from roots level again, I made my way back up there within 6 months of being back fighting again. I went from Sefer Seferi to Deontay Wilder. I went from the MEN Arena to the Staples Center in Los Angeles, and it was always big steps, always. But getting there was baby steps. It wasn't easy. It was always hard, uphill battling. But it was always going to be worth it. You know, the rewards on the other side are worth the dedication.
Well, long may it continue.
But yeah, so just before we go, have you got anything you want to say to people who may be struggling as I'm the mental health ambassador for sports?
Do I want to say anything, or do you want to say something?
No, I say stuff all the time. I want to know, do you want to say anything that may help somebody? People might not necessarily hear it from me because I'm speaking it all the time, but a new voice, a new face, maybe they hear it differently.
I would just say to people, especially in the situation we're in now, that if you feel like you do need, and this is your message as well, if you feel like you do need help, like, don't be ashamed, or don't think it's not a manly thing to reach out to people and speak to someone about it, because I think silence is the killer in this as well. I think a lot of people in boxing, this is where you're different, because you've come out 6'6" world champion boxer, comes out and talks about his feelings.
6'9", Kugan, 6'9" more.
6'9", comes out, talks about his feelings, and it's like almost against what we're used to seeing. So I think people just listening to what you say, and if you can say it, I suppose that will inspire other people to come out and talk about it. Because I think talking about it is half the problem, and I think people don't talk about it enough. And we only talk about it when there's a tragedy. You know, when something bad happens, then everyone goes, "Oh, let's talk about mental health. Let's talk about mental health, and let's address it." And then they forget about it until someone else dies. And it's the truth. Where we should just keep talking about it and try and stop as many of them as possible, because that's something that hasn't been spoken about. Everyone's talking about what's going on in the world. We don't know what the suicide rate has been in the last 2 months. Do you know? I don't know, because that's not been banged down our throats.
I reckon it'd be 50% higher than usual.
Why isn't that being addressed and put out there with stats like that?
Kugan for PM! Well done, Kugan. Valid point, son. Valid point. You know, in these times of struggle, there will probably be a lot of people thinking about suicide, or they keep coming to the mind all the time. And my advice would be like what you just said. Communication. You need to speak about it, because getting it off your chest 99% of the time works. Speak to somebody. Doesn't have to necessarily be a doctor or a nurse or somebody. Maybe it's your friend, maybe it's your mother, father, brother, cousin, uncle, maybe it's your dog. I don't know who it is. But speaking about it openly always solves everything. Because even in a relationship, you got problems and you don't talk about it, you end up breaking up, don't you, or getting a divorce or whatever. You got problems and you talk about it, even if it's a very bad problem. Like, I've had many very bad problems, but we've spoke about them and worked them out, ironed them all out, and we're still together 15 years later. So it's communication is the key in anything, not just relationships, even in business deals. If you don't speak to the people you're dealing with, then it goes a bit stale and you don't want to do the deals. Communication is always the key to everything. You know that?
Mm. I will say one thing before we go. I interviewed Ricky Hatton recently, and he said that, you know, he put this post out, and the first person that was on the phone to him within 10 minutes was you, and it was something as simple as you just saying to him, "Are you all right? What's going on in your life?" and talking to him.
Yeah, I saw a little video that he did, and I felt like he was a bit down. And obviously, it takes one to know one. We're struggling with mental health. I can always tell if someone's suffering a little bit straight away. I've got that sense. And I thought to myself, he's not feeling too well, so I'll give him a call. It might just be a little call that cheers him up a little bit. And I give him a call, and it must have done him a little bit of good, because he spoke about it. And, you know, it doesn't cost anything to check on people. And, you know, just if you see somebody that might be feeling a bit down or whatever, just give them a little call. A little 2-minute conversation can make a massive difference.
Absolutely.
Well, all right, Kugan, from IFL Tyson TV, in association with MTK Global.
Shout out MTK Global.
Yeah, I'd like to thank you very much for joining me on my live Instagram workout. Until next time, peace out.
Save the video, Tyson. Save the video.
I'll save it and I'll post it.
Thank you. God bless
God
you.
bless you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.